It is finally time. Season 2 of the iRacing NASCAR Cup Series Career Mode is officially here. Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new season of our iRacing Career Mode. Today, coming at you with an exhibition race here from the Los Angeles Coliseum. It is time for the Clash. Unfortunately, we don't have heats in the AI for iRacing, so what I did is we're just quite simply going to have the whole roster of cars racing here today in the LA Clash. So we got like 36 cars or so on track, including some part-time drivers like Jimmy Johnson, actually, who will be in the grid. A brand new season, some roster changes. Most roster changes are accurate to 2023, but there is some key changes. Eric Almirola retired at the end of last season. It is now Todd Gilliland in the number 10 for Stuart Haas Racing. Dodge Motorsports has joined the NASCAR Cup Series. Dodge is back with their two drivers of Josh Berry as well as Jay Cook. The other big change, myself to Trackhouse Racing in that number 98 Chevrolet right there. Look at that beautiful machine, the Pepsi colors on the car. A beautiful paint scheme here. We've got quite a few Pepsi paint schemes now as I was rolling out on track, and now ready for this new adventure of Season 2, finally getting it underway here. Now, it was a little bit longer than I wanted it to take because I just had so much going on, and of course the Heat 5 career mode as well I was really focused on, and the F1 stuff, but we have finally kind of found a nice balance to where I think I can squeeze it in pretty consistently. When I say consistently, we're looking at basically one episode a week kind of thing, along with the IndyCar career mode as well. There you see Jay Cook, his second season in the Cup Series in the 95 Mopar Dodge, and as well Jay picked up his first career win last season in his rookie season there at the Charlotte Roval, if you guys remember that first and opening season. Ty Gibbs, a rookie for Joe Gibbs there in the 54. There's Josh Berry in that Dodge Charger number 59 Havoline machine. Absolutely beautiful now, as you can see the other cars on circuit. I myself trying to get as much track time as I could in these opening moments now on the inside of Michael McDowell in that moment, but I was pretty happy with how the car drove in practice and decided, you know what, let's jump into qualifying and see what happens here. Trackhouse Racing in their, third full-time season, if I'm not mistaken, in 2023, or would it be fourth? I can't even remember at this point, but nonetheless, here we are getting our qualifying lap underway. Qualifying laps here very, very quick. We're looking at a high 13, low 14 area here as we head down this back straightaway towards turn 3 and 4. And you want to really arc the corner there, get down on those kind of that rough patch of the circuit. We crossed the line. It's a 13.9. Look at this, P1. I would go slower on lap 2, but it was actually enough for pole. Look at the top of the screen. It's Daniel Suarez Chastain in third. Trackhouse Racing 1, 2, 3 for the Clash. And, well, quite simply an absolutely fantastic way to kick off Season 2 of this iRacing career mode, now starting on pole position as we were ready to roll. But we got our two teammates of Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain here with us now. Chastain made a few run-ins with him last season as a rookie in the Wood Brothers 21, and we of course wrecked a lot in our rookie season in the 21. Goal of this season, well, win a race, make the playoffs, and, well, be a lot more consistent and don't crash the car.
You know what to do here, Gary. Keep it clean, no mistakes, and get the job done.
Yes, sir. Just want to say thank you to everybody for giving me this opportunity, especially Justin Marks as well. Let's have a good season. Well, there you have it. 150 laps here in the Clash in Los Angeles. Now, there is a mid-race caution at lap 75 guaranteed, but obviously cautions could happen before and after as well. We're ready to go racing. There it is. Green flag, and we are in control as we head down into turn 1. Daniel Suarez on the outside. Now, great to see my favorite driver up here immediately on the exit of turn 2. A little bit of oversteer. This is a track that's surprisingly really easy to spin out on the exit of the corner, so we got to be really careful. Suarez clear on the outside. I'm struggling to find some pace right off the bat here. Of course, qualifying pole, but we're already struggling. Chase Elliott now to my outside. Now, I was really struggling specifically on the exit of the corners. That's where you're seeing Elliott right here. He's just gonna plow through, take second place. That Napa Auto Parts driver up into second there. I get punted by my teammate of Chastain already. Very Chastain fashion move right there, but this time, well, I'm his teammate, and he did not care. Chastain laid the bumper on me, moved me out of the way. All right, I see how it's gonna be. Yeah, there goes now Kyle Larson, defending champion. He won the 2021 Cup Championship, won the 2022 Cup Championship in our iRacing career mode. So Larson, 2 back-to-back Cup Series championships here now as we head down into turn 3. And you can see I am hanging on for my dear life. My rear view mirror filled up with Kyle Busch, but it would change to the 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang of Joey Logano. So I settled in to P6 here by lap 8 now. I have a new ticker that you can see in the top of the screen. Hope you guys enjoy that. But as well, you can see Logano filling up my mirror. I was struggling a little bit on the exit of the corners. The problem with this racetrack here is when you light up the rear tires just a little bit, you got to spend about 4 to 5 laps just trying to calm them down. You can see Daniel Suarez now. He's already working his way through some lap traffic. Now up the inside of Harrison Burton, who now moves into the 21 to be authentic to real life as well. As you can see myself just kind of leading over Logano. The Dodge driver of Josh Berry up here in the mix as well. You saw Ty Gibbs in his first race here in the Cup Series having a pretty decent run as well. Zane Smith actually in the 38 car. Forgot to mention that Logano actually gives me a shot to the bumper here. I noticed the AI were pretty aggressive here in the Los Angeles Coliseum, and that's the second time we've been run into from behind. Obviously the first time Chastain, but look at the gap between myself and my teammate of Ross Chastain. He has driven away. I am struggling hard to keep up with these guys, and you can see now Chase Elliott up the inside of Suarez into turn 1. Byron behind, but Byron, that's not a lead lap William Byron. That's a lap down William Byron. Track position so important here in Los Angeles that if you qualify bad, it doesn't matter how good of a car you have, it's going to be hard to run good, and Byron was proving that. Now I was starting to find a rhythm and actually put a nice comfortable gap between myself and Joey Logano to where I wasn't under a lot of pressure going into the corners anymore. And how I did that was I was finding that if I could just put this car as close as I possibly could to the inside wall in every corner, it was really making a big difference. Now we can't really execute that tremendously because we're battling with some lap traffic of our own, and Logano's following me through now as I'm up the inside of Noah Gragson here, but get clear of that number 42, and the battle for the lead continues up front. Suarez again, after getting passed by Elliott, takes the lead back. They are now putting a lap there on the number 84 of Jimmy Johnson. As you can see, Kyle Larson trying to move his way forward, looking pretty quick here now, of course, winning the championship in the last episode it would have been at Phoenix Raceway, as now I'm up to the back of the 48 of Alex Bowman. This is for a position to re-enter the top 5, so we found more pace. Logano hits us again, and he turns us around going into the corner. We come to a stop there to, of course, try to not get hit, but this is going to cause a lot of cars to come to a complete halt there. As you can see, the pile up, this is going to create a lot of chaos with the pace car coming out, a mix of lap cars, lap down cars. It's going to take a few laps to get this sorted, but the 22 of Logano just went right into the corner, turned me around, and the caution flies. Now, I'm not surprised how we raced drivers last season and our rookie season in the 21. We caused a lot of chaos. I wasn't surprised to get, no help there. We were under caution for nearly 10 laps before everything got sorted out. We would be back green flag racing here with Kyle Larson actually somehow was deemed the leader. I don't know what happened, but Bowman was up to second now. Chase Elliott wasn't even in the top 10 anymore. So the weird caution with the lap cars being mixed in with lap down cars and the pace car coming out in that group, it just really screwed things up here. Thankfully, this is an exhibition race. This is more about having fun than it is taking it serious like the rest of the season will be, of course, starting with the Daytona 500 in the next episode here. So I'm trying to work my way forward now. I'm up the inside of my teammate of Ross Chastain, actually, as we head down into turn number 3, as I'm big time sideways there on the exit of the corner. That was turn 1, actually. Now, I get my corners mixed up here so easily because of how quick we're going around this circuit now. It's only 14-second lap times, of course, but look at me getting a little bit loose again there. On the inside now of Michael McDowell as we head down into turn 1. We have that caution coming out lap 75. Lap 57 is what we're on now, so not long at all until that caution is going to fly. But you can see this rhythm I was getting in, just putting this car as far down to the inside as I possibly could here, and it was making a difference now. But obviously the big difference is we have a lot of traffic to work our way through at this point. There you see Todd Gilliland in the 10, cautions out, Elliott's around, we nearly send Jimmy Johnson up and over, and the steering has been destroyed in this number 98 Pepsi Chevrolet. I now had to turn the wheel a bit to the left just to keep it going in the right direction on the straightaway. You can see it right there. Here's a replay. I don't know what Harvick and Hamlin were doing, but they were coming into the pits. Elliott couldn't react, and then everyone piles in, including myself. So, yeah, I decided to stay out and not fix the car because I didn't know what the extent of the damage was, and track position was so important, so I decided to remain on the racetrack here. So we're going to get ready to go back racing here. But overall, just what the heck, you know? I was a bit confused by how in the world the 4 and 11 did that and why they were coming into the pits. But Kyle Larson was going to lead the field back to the green. So we're going to get back underway. But I was pretty concerned for the, well, potentially rest of this race here now, because I immediately go down in turn 1 and 2 here, and you can already tell that there's something going on with this car here. The steering was completely ruined in this thing. It wasn't the worst, I will say. It was somewhat drivable. I've definitely experienced worse in iRacing in my time of playing, but I was definitely struggling to a point where if the car was handling like this, I wasn't going to be a factor the rest of the race. I held on to lap 75. We come to lap 75, I'm still P21. Kyle Larson leads at the halfway point over Kyle Busch, Bowman Bell as well, as I believe that was Ty Gibbs. There's 2 monster cars, of course, to watch out for here this time around, but I believe that was Ty Gibbs because, well, Tyler Reddick's right in front of me. So the halftime caution comes out, but I don't pit because track position in reality is so important. I didn't get enough of a sample size to see if we could really fight with the way the steering was, so I decided, okay, let's just remain on the racetrack here. Like I already said, it's an exhibition race. We're having fun. It's not about taking it too seriously. Now we're back underway, racing again for 70 laps remaining here from this Los Angeles Coliseum here. A lot of beating and banging, but it's been on me as we head down into turn 3. Kyle Larson, well, he's looking to defend his Cup Series title with a win in the LA Clash. Can he do that here now as we head down this backstretch towards turn 3? Well, there's the guy that put me in this position to begin with, Joey Logano. I give him a bit of a shot to the bumper. I would have wrecked him, but my teammate of Daniel Suarez and my favorite driver of Daniel Suarez was on his outside, so I didn't want to do that. But you can certainly see I'm struggling really hard with the handling in this car now, overcooking into the corner. But watch this, through turn 4, big slide again on the exit of the corner, and I was starting to deal with this quite consistently. You can see me having to wheel it and just correct the daylights out of this car, actually giving a shot to the bumper to the 41 of Ryan Parise on the exit of turn 2 there. That actually forced McDowell up the track, so I make a pass on him. But we just continue to try and at least hang in there, but unfortunately just things weren't working in this car. It was so hard to pass because with the steering being screwed up, it was really pushing the car on the exit of the corners. That was where the big issue was. You can see the front end right there crumpled in. The damage is quite heavy now, as I am actually surprisingly going to clear the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, who now moves into that 16. Josh Berry right there in front of us here in that Dodge machine. You do see the Ford taillights. That's something we can't change, but it's also got the Dodge ones, the front end, of course, so it looks awesome for a Dodge now. As you can see, the struggles continue. Really huge shout out, by the way, to Jason from FR Graphics, who allowed me to use the Dodge template for the Dodge cars this season. His logo slapped on to each Dodge that you'll see from now till however long this iRacing career mode goes. You can see I myself settled into P17. Unfortunately, with less than 50 to go in this race, I had no pace to go run down these guys ahead. If the steering was okay, I'm confident that it would be a completely different scenario, but, you know, we are in the scenario that we found ourselves in, and it is what it is at this point. Allmendinger just behind myself as he nearly runs into me. He was filling up my mirror, and I was getting a bit concerned because it was shades of what happened with Logano earlier, where he's really just kind of pounding on my back bumper. And now as we head down into turn 3, there it is. Allmendinger sends us around as the caution's gonna fly again here in the Clash, and I think we've been involved in every one. 2 of them we've been spun out. The other one, of course, it was a pile up in front of us, nowhere to go as I'm trying to get out of the way. We're gonna go a lap down because of this, and I decide at this point the car is drunked, the steering's screwed. Let's just bring it into the box and fix it. Here's the replay. Allmendinger, what a lunge from that far back. He just sent it into the corner. And yeah, I wouldn't even say that's fully his fault on that one. The one with Logano was fully on him. That one I would say honestly is a 50-50. I went into the pits to repair the car, and I didn't come out until less than 10 laps ago in the race. So we were quite a few laps down at this point, and I was just getting out of the way of Kyle Larson, as you can see, in that number 5, as he was dominating the final part of this Clash. But this was not the exhibition race I had really had in mind. I was hoping we would be fighting for a win. We qualified qualified pole, but things didn't go well. We got punted by our teammate. Larson wins the clash. He crosses the line over his teammate of Alex Bowman. Kyle Busch in his debut for Richard Childress Racing, third. Truex Byron in the top 5. Byron, what a recovery from him, who was a lap down earlier in the race. But yeah, absolutely terrible for myself here, unfortunately. I couldn't show you guys the finishing order because it wasn't a part of a seasoned race, so I can't go back and get it. But you can see it scrolling across the top of the screen there for what it is. But so frustrating, honestly. I thought we were getting into a good rhythm until Logano dumped us, and I don't know. What could have been, I guess you could really say. But at the end of the day, this episode was more of a lighthearted, let's have fun and get back into the flow of the iRacing career mode before the actual season kicks off in the next episode with the Daytona 500. 26 races, authentic to the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series schedule, aside from Bristol Dirt, which we still can't do with AI in iRacing, unfortunately. But other than that, I think we have all tracks now. Don't quote me on that. I may be missing one. But yeah, I'm excited to kick off this 2023 season with Trackhouse Racing, and I hope you guys are excited as well. A wild clash, and unfortunately we were involved in all the wild parts. That's going to wrap it up for me. I will see you guys in the next one for the Daytona 500. Have a great day, everybody.